Good evening, Fredonia. You're listening to the local lowdown on WCVF 88.9 The Voice and WDVL 89.5 The Inferno. I'm your co-host and promotions lead, Aaron.
Hi, I'm Jordan, and I am your A&R lead and your other co-host and your executive producer.
And I'm Sebastian, the production lead.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems in a group effort to promote and showcase the local music scene here in Fredonia, but also Western New York at large. Welcome to the Local Lowdown.
On this week, we have our next guest, Meadow Viscuso. So how about we start off the episode with you just introducing yourself and your relationship to music?
Well, my name is Meadow Viscuso. I'm a junior here at Fredonia, freshly 20. As far as music, I think I always knew that was going to be a part of my life since I was little. I didn't start taking it seriously up until college, honestly. I was in an all-girls chorus throughout high school, really enjoyed that. And ever since I was little, I would just hum tunes like my grandma in class, anywhere, and all the teachers would have to be like, whoever's humming, please stop. And, obviously it was me. So music was just always a thing for me, as well as my mom's side of the family, so.
Yeah. Well, in terms of your college experience, we first really started hearing of you during the Battle of the New Bands in fall of 21. And then you would go on to perform at music industry clubs, R&B night. What can you say about your development as an artist, a writer, and a performer over time?
I mean, the first thing I think of when you ask that is my writing, for sure. The process of writing my first song took forever. I mean, at that point, my first song wasn't even out when I performed at Battle of the Bands. So, my original song that I sang there, it was kind of some song I knew I wasn't going to release it, but I had to have something. I just struggled with, I'm just going to call it writer's anxiety. I was so worried about not being able to write well or people judging what I had to say and sing about. So that definitely stunted my growth in a way. As far as the actual performing, I have learned so much. Just even from Battle of the Bands, I was so nervous up until the performance. Yeah. And even for the audition, I was in shambles the one day because my alarm went off mid-audition, and they're just staring at me I'm like, do you want me to turn it off? I was just so nervous. And I think I cried after that. I was so upset because I'm a perfectionist. I got to do things the way I like to do them. And if I don't, I'm in distress. So definitely learned from that. And then by the time I got to the performance, once I was on stage, it's like I knew I belonged in music, if that makes sense. The second I got up there, it's almost like I got goosebumps in a way. I just felt so passionate and just seeing everyone. And then as I got into it, I started to forget that I'm literally performing in front of all these people. So it was a great learning experience, and it was so much fun.
Yeah. Was that your first experience performing in that type of setting?
As far as actually performing and doing a set list, I believe so. I did small things. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, in high school, I had a solo my senior year, so I did that. And then for my swim team, I did the national anthem for one of our swim meets. But other than that, I really hadn't done anything like Battle of the Bands.
You seem to, I remember you having some technical difficulties during, your performance, but you handled it really gracefully. I was wondering if that had ever happened, something like that had ever happened before when you were performing, because you handled it so well.
Audience participation goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think anything like that's ever happened. Somehow, I'm trying to swear right now. I try not to pull things out of my butt. I just come up with things on the spot. I don't know what, I remember a few things happened, and at first I was embarrassed, but then something it's your fight or flight response. I don't know.
Yeah, the adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just tried to fit in what made sense, or like I remember at one point the backtrack, I think it paused or just completely stopped. So that's when I had like the audience start to sing with me. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's all you can do. It's better than, running off the stage or crying or just standing there. So you got to do something about it.
Yeah. So relatively recently, you released your song 1111 and then followed it up with your next single, What Have I Done? I was wondering if there was a reason for the order of those two songs.
I think as far as 1111, I wanted to set the tone. I wanted a message that I felt not only made sense for me, but resonated with other people. Like, we all have dreams and aspirations. I didn't want to start with What Have I Done, because that's pretty dark song, if you will. So with 1111, that was just basically me saying, like, this is who I am. These are my goals. And, like, I'm very excited for everyone to hear what I have after that. I guess like an intro almost.
Yeah. Well, your first EP is out now. It's titled Queen of Water. 4 songs in there, 2 in addition to the singles that came out before then. What does it feel like to have this EP out now?
Honestly, it's the first time in a while I can say I'm extremely proud of myself. I'm usually never happy with the work I do. Like, I'm always trying to see how I can get better or improve, or like even with 1111, sometimes I can't stand listening to that song. Like, a lot of people say they like it, but for me, it's just like I've seen how I've grown, and the fact that I even started doing music, I really overcame a lot of fear and doubt. So now that I have like an actual EP that's out, it's honestly like unreal to me that I finally made it through all that.
Yeah.
And through overthinking, and now I know how to do it, you know?
Is it satisfying to know that people can go and listen to these songs whenever now?
Yeah, it for sure is satisfying. I feel like music is the way I share my thoughts and feelings. Generally, I don't really speak that much with people I don't really know too well. And so I guess music is my way of just saying, here's what I have to say, and I feel more comfortable doing it through music. Sometimes I have doubts of people listening. I'm like, what if they hate my music? But I'm like, oh well, too bad.
Yeah, can't please everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious about the title, Queen of Water. How did you come up with that, and how do you feel like it relates to your identity as an artist?
Yeah, so not to be all like horoscope, but I am a Cancer.
Go for it.
I'm a water sign, and I'm not
too.
saying that. I don't make it a part of my personality trait. I'm like, I'm a Cancer, like this, that, and the third. But I've always felt connected to the water, to the beach. My family, like, I grew up on the beaches since I was a baby. That's my home. I don't associate any, like, physical home as home, if that makes sense. That the beach and the water, that's where I feel the most content. And actually how I got the name Queen of Water, one night I was in the garage and I was just doing like a tarot card reading, and a card popped out called Queen of Water, and it was this like beautiful water like goddess, and it was so beautiful, and all of a sudden I just had this voice in my head, and it was like, make that your EP name. So that's how I got that, honestly.
And that's how the artwork came together also? Gotcha.
Yeah.
I saw you also had a tattoo of that too, right?
Yeah.
I can't see it on camera, but...
Yeah, that's like my whole theme. Like, not that I'm doing all this because of my music, but like as an artist, you do have to make your brand. What do I want to stand for? And this is the theme, I mean, mermaids were always an important part of my childhood. When I was younger, I just saw them as like these creatures that were beautiful, but now as I got older, I started to look into like the characteristics that mermaids would typically embody, and I feel like I have those myself. being powerful, mysterious, sensual, standing up for yourself, like all those things. And also having like a light and dark contrast within like yourself, if that makes sense. So that's definitely what I wanted to be like known for in a way.
Yeah, and I feel like what you were talking about with some of the songs being like 11:11, you're saying that's a little bit more of a happier song, a lighter song, but there's also darker songs in there as well. So I feel like that definitely plays into the title and the themes that you mentioned. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wanted to do something like that because a lot of artists, which this isn't wrong or bad, but a lot of artists stick to one thing. Like love, sadness. I wanted to give people an array of emotions to choose from. That way, I have more people, a different audience for each song, I want people to be able to find like their niche within my music.
yeah.
Speaking of some of the darker songs, the lyrics in What Have I Done are really powerful, and I think that there's something a lot of people can resonate with, like the concept of beating yourself up in your head. I was just wondering, like, how did you come up with that song, and like what was going on in your head and in your life when you wrote that?
Honestly, I got to a point where I was done dealing with crappy people, honestly. And it goes back to my childhood as well, dealing with certain things in the past, and then it kind of like manifesting its own form into college, dealing with similar types of people that take advantage of your kindness or just walk all over you. And so I guess I got to a point, I'm like, I'm so angry. I could list off so many people that I could cuss out right now, but all of that stays inside. It's like, but it's only for so long. You can bury those things inside till it comes out. And instead of doing it the wrong way and bringing people down and, just being rude, I just wanted to write a song with those emotions, and I knew that it would probably help me deal with all the times I didn't speak my truth. So.
Right. In the end of that song, you have a spoken part. You say, "We push and shove when we should just pray to what's above." You also mention in your bio that your music's purpose is to uplift others on a spiritual level. How did you realize that about yourself and your music, and what does that really mean to you to uplift people on a spiritual level?
I think it took me a while to realize who I wanted to be as an artist. That's honestly why it took me so long to actually release songs, because I'm like, I don't even know who I am. We're all still trying to figure out who we are. But I guess I just knew everyone on this planet has room for growth, and I want everyone to be happy and to be successful and find who they are, if that makes sense. And a lot of people, there's a lot of dark people in this world, there's a lot of hurt people in this world, and I just want people to be able to maybe take the lessons I've learned and maybe use it for their life and just help upgrade their own life. Because it's with all the pain in the world, that's what bothered me, honestly, all the pain in the world. Since I was a child, I would just think about all the problems that happen around the country, the world, and it genuinely made me so upset. And so I think that's why I wanted to communicate those feelings through music, and give people a chance to work on themselves.
Yeah.
I think you kind of do a really good job at taking things that feel like they're so far away and bringing them in, if that makes sense, onto a personal level. You don't have to you're not trying to address all the problems in the world, but
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. And it's funny you say that, because I think another reason why it took me so long to find out who I was as an artist, I literally sat there thinking to myself, there's all these problems that I want to help. I could think of a million things. off the top of my head, it really bothered me, like the foster care system and children, climate change, people in the military who are homeless. Like, I could think of a million things right now. And I'm like, well, and then that's what kind of stunted me from making music. I got overwhelmed by all these problems. I'm like, well, what am I even going to do? I'm not a wizard. I can't just fix everything.
Yeah.
So then I just realized, I'm like, do what you think is right for you, and the healing and the helping will come with it in a way.
Yeah. I think that, once again, just going back to the title, I think that really works into that too, like Queen of Water. I mean, when I think of water, I think of the healing in it, the power that it has, how important it is, and I guess even like maybe knowledge too and wisdom. And I think just with everything we're talking about, it works together very nicely. So thank you for the answers. Yeah. Wow, we're really getting into it this episode. Like, it's just...
Sorry, I get deep sometimes.
You're doing really well with the questions. We appreciate it a lot.
They're not the easiest
They're
topical questions.
Yeah. Well, I hate small talk personally, so I just like to get into it.
Yeah, love it. Well, this one's a little bit more small talky, but...
Okay, that's good.
In 2021, you performed at Battle of the New Bands, like we already mentioned. I noticed that you did a couple, like, more country covers during that. Like, you did a Carrie Underwood song, Miley Cyrus song. Yeah. Is that something you would still want to go back to doing? Like, are you going to incorporate that sound into your released music as well? Or is it more of focused on that pop and R&B field that you've been doing?
That's actually a great question, and I feel like some people were actually wondering this, some of my friends. After I had performed at Battle of the Bands, which, mind you, that was like my first time.
Yeah.
And people were already coming up to me, calling me a country artist. I'm like, no one said I was a country artist. I'm like, slow down, please.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not going to bash country music. I listen to it myself. I'm a little bit more picky with country, but I appreciate all genres. So I do see myself going into different genres, not sticking to R&B, just because I have like a lower, raspier voice. And with that, I can do R&B, I can do country, and then I could also even do rock or alternatives. Like Miley Cyrus songs, love singing her music. Very fitting for my voice, Lady Gaga, people like that. So I definitely see myself going into different genres. Would I release my own country music? I just feel like it's not my place, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm like, I'm not from the country. Like, I don't know if that, I don't know. I just don't feel like I...
Yeah, I loved when you did that stuff. I thought it was really nice with your voice also, so...
Oh, thank you.
We'll see if I get a little release
Maybe.
at some point.
Do you feel like when you write that you kind of naturally fall more into like the pop R&B stuff?
Oh, that 100%. That's actually, I didn't even think about that. That's like another reason why I kind of hesitated with country music. What they generally write about is not my style. Like the things I write in my journal, I look at it. Because one day I was like, maybe I'll do country. And I was like writing it, and I'm like, how am I going to make this a country song? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I guess there's no limits to music.
Right,
but
yeah. There's no one saying that you can't write in that way in a country song, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I think we're about ready to transition into our set list, so take it away, Meadow.
Shells on the beat.
See you every day makes me feel okay. No, I'm gonna make it. No one will see me quit. But don't you worry about a thing. Just let the people hear you sing. What are you waiting for? What you want can be yours. Listen more than you speak. That's what they're telling me. Give without expecting. You'll flourish once
Scammer shots
accepting.
on the beat.
Listen to your guides, 'cause they will provide. Just put in the time, and there will be less to climb. But don't you worry about a thing. Just let the people hear you sing. What are you waiting for? What you want can be yours. Listen more than you speak. That's what they're telling me. Give without expecting. You'll flourish once
Scammer shots on
accepting.
the beat.
30 hertz straight up.
Dear universe, I know my path must be walked alone, but it's so hard walking into the unknown. I try so hard to let people go because I know it will allow me to grow. I'm sorry for ignoring all your signs, but now I know it's time to redefine. Listen more than you speak. That's what they're telling me. Give without expecting. You'll flourish once accepting.
Woo.
I live for your presence. Just something about your essence. The fire to my water. How loving felt like $1,000,000. How hunger for passion is more than just attraction. When our souls intertwine, God, it feels so divine. I wanna feel your sexual healing. Give me that sensual feeling. Hey, I wanna feel your sexual healing. Give me that sensual feeling. Dive into my ocean. Let's it out and feel the motions. You love it when my body sings to you. When I'm on it, do you like it? Whatever you want and you got it. 'Cause I'm a teaser, a pleaser, a thrill seeker. 'Cause our hunger for passion is more than just attraction. When our souls intertwine, God, it feels so divine. I wanna feel true feeling. God, I know it's wrong, but I can't move on. Nerves are kinda shot, stomach turns into a knot, pain gets suppressed for the things I can't express. I don't know why these little voices inside are tearing me apart and eating me alive. I don't know why these little voices inside are tearing me apart and eating me alive. Gave away my energy, lost my identity. Look at what you done to me. Look at what I've done to me. Gave away my energy, lost my identity. Look at what you've done to me. Look at what I've done to me. What have I done to me? What have I done? Hey, ooh. You know what you are, you're pathetic. Letting anyone walk all over you, eating away at your soul. But what do? Nothing. You don't want people to see the real you. What if they don't accept it? God forbid you open your mouth and speak your truth. Everything I never say courses through my veins like poison, intoxicating. Someone help me, it's not healthy. Don't know why these little voices inside are tearing me apart and eating me alive. I don't know why these little voices inside are tearing me apart and eating me alive. Gave away my energy, lost my identity. Look at what you done to me. Look at what I've done to me. Gave away my energy, lost my identity. Look at what you've done to me. Look at what I've done to me. Look what I've done to me. What have I done? Hey, We chase temporary highs to make us feel alive. We fill the void inside to avoid the hurt that subsides. We push and shove when we should just pray to what's above. We drown in our pity, hoping someone will feel guilty. But if you can't save yourself, guess what? No one will.
Well, thank you so much for that set, Meadow. We really appreciate you stopping by and performing for us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, so I wanted to ask this because you have a couple songs with spoken parts in them. Mm-hmm. I was wondering, when you're writing, do you write like the spoken parts at the same time that you wrote the sung parts? Or are they written completely separately? And how do you decide what gets sung and what gets spoken?
So poetry has always been like a hobby of mine since middle school, I think, is when I discovered that I liked it. Honestly, when I incorporate it or like when I know what lines I want, I write everything at the same time. But then I kind of switch into this mindset of like, okay, here is what I want to stand out. This is like the overall main message of what I really want people to know. Because sometimes, you stop paying attention to a song if you hear like the chorus a few times, you're just kind of days out. But then you hear that and you hear someone's voice. I feel like it changes things. So I definitely highlight the most important parts in spoken word, and I feel like it has a lot of weight to it.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree. I really enjoy those parts within the EP, just like what you were talking about, just really getting to focus in on the words that you're saying, and it's a really nice part of it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you think you'll always do that part live as well?
No. I honestly was debating whether or not to do it today. I guess my main concern is like sometimes I cringe myself out sometimes as an artist. I'm like, do I want to do this? Like, are people gonna think this is cringy, or like, are they gonna like it? That would be the only reason why, honestly, I wouldn't do it, or if I wanted to include more vocals. But yeah, I think I just need to embrace the spoken word a little bit more. I enjoy doing it, so I might as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing to stop myself from.
Yeah, I'm glad that you did.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Which song on Queen of Water are you most looking forward to performing live?
Sensual.
Yeah. I have a feeling you might
100%.
say that.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I honestly, I just felt so connected to that song and very passionate when I wrote it. And honestly, I think it's, for me, one of the favorite songs I wrote. And as far as style, I think this song, for me, is like the moment that I figured out my writing style, if that makes sense. 'Cause like I'll listen to 11:11, and literally if I'm like I hit shuffle on my music and it pops up, like I skip it immediately. I can't even listen to it. I have a hard time listening. It's like listening to your own voice.
Yeah.
But with Sensual, it's different. Like I could listen to it and actually love it. So I'm very excited to sing it.
That's special. I feel like a lot of people say, like, I just can't listen to any of my own music, either because it's just hearing their own voice, or they're like, I heard it so many times. But I just think that's really great that you can actually listen to it and that you actually like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And
'Cause you should.
yeah, you'd think I should, yeah. And honestly, that was like a turning point for me, because I honestly never thought I'd be able to just listen to my songs and enjoy them. Usually when I listen, I'm like, oh, you messed up here. Why'd you do that? Why do you sound like that? I'm very picky. So this was the first song I'm like, okay, I'm actually content with this.
Yeah.
So I was happy, but I can finally relax.
Well, just going back to that Battle of the New Bands performance one more time, that original song that you did do, which was called Love Till It Hurts, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you told me at some point,
something
because I was writing an article about it. Do you think that you'll ever go back to that piece, or are you like already moved on to new material? And
Like, you just unlocked a memory I forgot I had.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly completely forgot about the song, but honestly, now that I have more experience with writing and I'm more comfortable with it, I think it's a good message. The song came from a good place, so I could see myself maybe changing it around, keeping like most of the lyrics, but making it more of a music format and just editing it. But I could definitely see myself going back to it.
yeah, because a lot of the stuff that you mentioned in terms of the themes in your music today just really aligned with that song, I remember. Like, it was a lot of positive energy about being kind to other people. And that just seems so in line with what you were talking about today. I was just wondering if it was something you were going back to. So
Well, now that you said it, like that just gave me another idea. So
All right, now looking to the future, you have an upcoming gig on September 9th at Stamps
get down.
with rapper Neetchy and R&B artist Wasted Reject. How did you get involved with Gulf of Mexico Productions?
Honestly, thanks to Ava. She's the one who got me this gig. She texted me and she's like, yeah, I got you a gig at Stamps. And I had never heard of the place originally, but then I talked to some people, I looked into it, and it seems like such a cool venue. So that's honestly how I got it, and I'm very thankful for that. Because obviously as an artist, you have a lot on your plate, so to have someone help you out, it makes a huge difference. So.
I also wanted to give a shout out to One of our own.
One of our very own on A&R team.
And Asteroid Day's very good manager, Ava Sargente. She connected us with Gulf of Mexico as well. I think Gulf of Mexico reached out to them, or us, or her. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Well, since we're doing shout-outs, shout out to Blaze as well, who has been on the show, BP and the Oil
has?
Spills.
oh, he's in BP and the Oil Spills?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Lead singer of BP and the Oil Spills. Well, they kind of do like a
Wow.
dual vocalist thing. But
And
yeah,
also-
shout out to Blaze. He's always really good at getting Fredonia artists on his bill, so it's cool to see that people get to go out there. and
Third
perform.
shout out.
Third shout out to Neetchy. Third shout out to Neetchy, who was our
Neetchy,
first
yeah.
episode.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
It works out
it's
like
all
that.
coming together.
Yep.
Honestly, shout out to Ava for getting both of y'all these gigs at
Yeah.
So are you planning on performing alone or with a band?
Yeah, so I'll be with a band. Kevin is my drummer. Ava just got us a new guitarist. I actually have not met him yet. But yeah, I'll have a full band, which is nice compared to Battle of the Bands. I did it by myself, which
Yeah.
honestly, it's not a big deal to me. I was fine with that, honestly, because all the responsibility's on me, and I like that sometimes. Because I'm like, all I gotta do is worry about myself and
Yeah.
just make sure my music's straight. But it's really nice to work with other people. And Kevin always does a great job, and he's a good guy, so it's really nice to work with other people and be able to enjoy that live music experience. Like, it's such a, like, I don't know what the word is. It's like, it's just such a beautiful experience, live music, and just connecting with everyone. So.
Yeah. Could you ever see yourself having that be a part of the writing process as well? Like working with a band while recording and putting your songs together?
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I've had some friends, shout out to Lorv if he ever sees this. He made What Have I Done? He made the beat for me.
Oh, okay.
Amazing at making beats and stuff. And then I also get beats off of YouTube, like I buy the lease for them.
Yeah.
And I would definitely love, though, to have the band come in and do that live recording of a guitar, drum, or piano. Like, I feel like that's a good experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And would you see yourself continuing to work with Lorv? Like, do you guys have like a good chemistry in terms of him doing the production and stuff?
Yeah, I love him so much. Like, he always calls me his little sis. We always keep in touch, and we always talk music. He's in New York City right now doing his big boy jobs. He just graduated. But yeah, he'll definitely always be doing music and producing, so we'll definitely keep that connection.
Nice. Good to hear.
Do you feel like when you've worked with other people in the past, you kind of like breathe a new life into your songs? Like, is it cool to kind of see them transform in that way?
As far as working with people, I think what stops me from sometimes feeling the way that you just explained is like my stress around how things are gonna go. Like, am I gonna, get along with this person? How are we
Yeah.
gonna, like, does everyone know their music? Because I'm very much about, like, get your stuff done, please.
Right.
Especially from high school, my chorus teacher, if you came in that day and you didn't have measures 12 through 24, like, down, oh, I was scared of her. So I've just learned to always just work hard and get your stuff done. So I guess I do have some doubts, or I get, like, nervous, but, I mean, I'm definitely getting more comfortable with working with people. And I definitely think once you get close with those people and you share your stories is when I get that inspiration and I hear other perspectives.
Right. That's when you'll kind of get there.
I just want to say I've also seen that guy Kevin play drums.
Shout out
Man,
Kevin.
he's a mad lad. Dude, I get so jealous of him. I just like seeing him in the freaking window passing Mason. I'm like, gosh darn it. Like, it's terrible. All those drummers are so good. It makes me so mad.
They are.
All right. So at Stamps, can we expect to see the music from the new EP and maybe some covers as well, or what? Tell us what to expect.
Well, based off of what I see, of like what Stamps looks like, I'm like, okay, well, I can't sing like sad and depressing songs the whole time. Like, it's definitely like
It's
kind
not
of
a
like a rock
depressing
on place.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. I
I've
mean,
never been there. He has.
from what I get, is it?
Yeah, you can make it whatever you want. Honestly.
Okay, well, I am incorporating like, you know, my sad songs, the happy songs. I will be incorporating, I think, all of my EP, I believe. Maybe minus one song, and then the rest are R&B and pop, and maybe alternative. Not quite sure, but I'm definitely gonna get into a few genres just so people can get a feel for like my voice and, you know, who I am as an artist.
Nice. Good to hear.
Cool. Sounds like something
Sounds
to be
exciting.
excited for.
Yeah. September 9th.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
So I have a question. I'm trying to start a new segment. I've actually been thinking of like show like what do you call that show? Guess the no. Price is Right. like I've been thinking about like making a little like ding 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 and then like cuts to this question. I don't know, just a thought. But internet. I'm gonna restart.
I don't know if you should. This is hilarious.
What does the price of right have to do?
Like oh my god! Like I want to make like a little
Ding, 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 ding.
You did
Internet.
that didn't rack.
No,
That
it didn't connect.
register. Okay.
No.
Like you know like do Sebastian's internet.
Just a
segment.
jingle?
Oh, okay,
Okay, that's a better word.
A little jingle with a little graphic.
Yeah.
I would be.
And then
I'd love to
I'm
see
wearing a
that.
top hat for.
I'm wearing
like,
a top hat
I
for
don't
some
know.
reason.
All right.
Like
So
the Phineas and
anyways,
Ferb music.
Let's get to the darn question. What's your favorite thing that you've ever seen ever on the internet?
I don't think there's like one particular thing that's my favorite, because like my friends always make fun of me. Like I just scroll on TikTok and I'm just laughing out loud. And they're like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, there's just so much content that I find hilarious. But one that came to mind, I just posted on my story last night. I don't know if you saw it, but it's a video of this like toddler or like little kid in the kitchen with his mom, and he's holding her phone, and he's like, "Mom, can I do a trick real quick?" She's like, "No." And so he ignores her, puts the phone down. He like bends over, throws himself back, and he completely falls on his back and smacks his head.
Can I do some real quick? No. 3, 2, 1.
I told you not to do that.
He starts crying, which, no, I have dark humor. I love when kids hurt themselves. That brings me pure joy. So it was and the mom was cussing at him. She's like, "I told you not to do that." When you see it, it's hilarious. I literally watched it like 20 times last night.
At first, I thought that was going the route of like, I love cute little babies, but then. It went, oh my god. Yeah.
All
That's
right.
great.
I guess the final thing to ask is just what is next for you? Is it more focusing on live stuff or more writing?
A little bit of both. I definitely want. Honestly, I was thinking about it the other day, and so obviously I'm performing at Stamps, but when I go home for the summers, I go downtown, like on Chippewa Street all the time, and my goal is actually to get shows at, you know, like Rec Room. I know they do a lot of gigs there, maybe Venue if I got to that point. Just in that area, I just love it down there. I love Buffalo. I love to get experience performing there, and that I feel like that also get my name out there pretty well. And definitely writing more music. I imagine myself making an album called Queen of Water Part 2. So that's what I plan on doing for the future, and just working at it, because this is what I want to do with my life. So.
Yeah, that's cool to hear that it's already in the works. A sequel. Is it like actually going to be called Queen of Water 2 or?
We'll see. I mean, that's what I originally went with, but I'm indecisive, so it could change like 10 more times.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I keep you on your toes, though. So
If it does happen, everyone's hitting up the sequels lately because we had Jerry 2
Yeah,
for
I was just
Neetchy.
thinking about that.
He's already
yeah.
talking about Jerry 3.
Jerry 3 with the 3 is an E.
Right, right.
Okay,
That's a
don't
great
forget.
point. I like that you remember that detail.
He said it like 3 times.
Yeah,
I couldn't forget.
yeah. But, Meadow's got a show going on September 9th. We've also got something going on September 9th. Why don't you tell us about that, Sebastian?
Well, we got 3 artists, local and, well, all local, I guess.
Yeah, they're local.
We got Fredonia and Buffalo. We got headlining the show will be Relentless Moisture. And then we have Del Paxton and I'm blanking.
The weather might say
Weather
otherwise.
might say otherwise.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick. The weather might say otherwise. I don't know. They're like my favorite guys. I love those guys.
Way to make it up.
Save.
No, I'm serious.
Where's it happening, Sebastian?
I like fangirl over them. It's happening at Main Street Studios. Don't remember the address, but
You don't need to know that.
you guys know where the main.
What time is it starting?
Oh, you're quizzing. Okay. It starts at 8 p.m. Doors at 8 p.m. Music at 9.
Gotcha.
$5. Not too shabby.
But bring more because we got some super cool merch.
Yes, we will have a
Merch in
ton
the
of merch
store.
that we'll be selling. We have a lot. We got coasters. We got cassettes. We got
Totes.
tote bags. Still got tote bags. Got the nice white ones with the Graham Command logo.
Over 250 stickers in 3 different variants.
How many pins?
Oh, 97. 97 pins, guys.
This should be the new segment.
And we have
Quiz
one
Sebastian.
keychain.
Yep.
Keychain.
We have one local lowdown keychain. Then we have like 8 like just F keychains for
Yes.
Fredonia from Alex's mom.
Shout out.
What is her name?
Celia.
Shout out Celia.
Celia. All right. Well, now that we had our little self-promo moment that we had to throw in there.
Yep. Come to the show.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes this episode of the Local Lowdown. Thank you so much, Meadow, for coming on. It was a blast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to the Local Lowdown on 88.9 WCVF The Voice and 89.5 WDVLD Inferno. We will be back next week with some more sensual local music. Next week.
Same time, same place.
You tried to take your life, had me thinking I was holding the knife. A part of me died that night and it's nowhere inside. A part of me died that night and it's nowhere inside. I'd hold you in my arms and see the pain that left you scarred.